Hey guys, it's Beth, and today is the second Sunday in November, which means I am back with my second project for the Crafty Christmas Collab for 2019. And there's a whole group of ladies that are participating along with me in this collaboration, and the link to their YouTube channels will be down below. And the premise of this collaboration is to pull out a Christmas pad or collection from your stash and to make at least 4 projects from that same paper. You can add other things in to it, but you have to use, your paper has to be, from that pad or that collection. And the hope is just to get, a head start on some Christmas crafting. So my project last week was the hot cocoa packets for my Starbucks hot cocoa, and that was a craft show project. This week is also a craft show project. I am in craft show mode. We still have 3 big craft shows left to go in the next several weeks, and so we are hustling to get inventory built up. So I am using my Cozy Lodge pad for my Crafty Christmas Collab projects, and I am focusing on craft show items with that. So this week's project is more of a decor piece, a holiday decor piece. Earlier this fall, a few months ago, when I was at Hobby Lobby, I saw these cute little chunky pumpkins. They weren't very big. They were like kind of small and just kind of squat, but they were wooden and they had like a buffalo plaid print on the front. Just very simple. And I was like, oh, I love those. Like, I'm sure we could make those. And I decided I wanted to make something kind of like that for craft shows. And so I came home and checked out my silhouette and found a pumpkin shape that I liked, and I wanted mine to be bigger. And so I kind of manipulated the file and, sized mine a little bit bigger. And then my husband has a CNC machine, which is like a Silhouette or Cricut, but for wood and metal and like acrylic, other harder materials. And his machine has software as well, and luckily, he can use my Silhouette files, he can convert them and use them in his CNC software. So I had my pumpkin designed and I sent it to him, and then he cut it out with wood on his CNC machine, and then I covered them with some plaid. Most of them were plaid prints. I think there were a couple that weren't plaid but were more of a fall or Halloween print, and we sold out of those at our first craft show this fall. So we made a bunch more, and I decided that for the November and December craft shows I also wanted to try and do some Christmas trees, like very similar to this. So again, I went to my silhouette and I found like a basic pine tree shape. I didn't want it to be overly intricate, nor did I want it to be just a plain triangle. I wanted it to have some like pine tree details but still be chunky and rustic. And so I kind of resized it. I had to manipulate the base because I knew I needed a wider base than what the tree had, but I didn't want the tree itself to be wider. So I kind of manipulated the file again, got it looking the way I wanted it, and then sent the file to my husband. He cut them all out on his CNC machine, and then my hope was that once he got the trees cut and stained, that I could then use my silhouette to cut out my paper to cover my trees. Well, what we didn't think about, or what I didn't realize, is that when he converts the file from my silhouette file to what his software file is, it doesn't come over as true size, and so he had resized his tree, which is fine. And so I was trying to resize my silhouette tree file to match his tree, but for some reason it must have like altered it a little bit, because I could never get, like, when I had the height right and the size of the base and the bottom boughs here, I guess, whatever you want to call the branches, like, to match, these were off. Like, I could never get all 3 parts to size right. So, like, that's fine, whatever. So what I ended up doing is taking the tree, taking my pattern paper, turning it over, using a pencil, tracing out the tree shape for all the trees I wanted to come out, and came through, fussy cut them out with the scissors. Took a little more time than I wanted, but was still super easy. So what I did is, there were a lot of plaid patterns in this paper pad, and so I used them with some Mod Podge, put them on my trees, my little wooden trees. And so this one here is a kind of like a green and craft colored tree. I did a couple of those. And then there was a red, kind of tone on tone red check. And these are almost like, they're a small pattern, check pattern, almost like a gingham. And so I did a couple of these, and then on some of them I also came in, and I don't know if you can see the white edges, like I went through and sanded the edges just to give them a little more rustic outline. I didn't do that on all of them, but I kind of played with it on some of them. And then there's this really cute, which is my favorite, the little black and white gingham pattern. And then just to kind of give another option, like a more neutral option. There are a lot of people that don't like plaid, which is a shocker. I love plaid, but I know there are people who just like totally despise it. So I was trying to come up with another neutral option, and this pad also had like this birch pattern in it. And so I decided to do a couple trees with like the birch pattern, just for like something neutral, something that would go with everybody's decor. I know birch and pine, you know, totally not the same tree, but it was a wood grain, and it was something white that would still go with something farmhouse for people that wasn't a bold color. So I used other papers on these as well, but I did a bunch out of this pad and just wanted to share those with you guys. And then also I took some of the scraps like of this red pattern and used my silhouette and cut out this cute little deer head with the antlers. He was already up on my screen because I was using him, cutting him out with some vinyl to put on some ornaments, and so I thought I'd just see what it would look like to put him on a block. This is kind of basic, kind of plain, but I think he's cute in that red check pattern. So those are just some decor pieces that I made, you know, more for craft show inventory, but I am totally going to either save some of these or make me some more after our craft shows for my decor, because I kind of fell in love with those pumpkins, like I said, at Hobby Lobby, and wanted some for myself, but thought, you know, that other people would probably love them as well. And so I wanted to add those to our craft shows. And I think you could totally replicate this with any tree shape you could find. I know Hobby Lobby and Michael's both have like a wood section, like wood shape section, where all you have to do, everything's cut and sanded for you. All you have to do is paint and add whatever details you want. So hopefully if you could find a tree shape, you can do the same thing I did. Turn it upside down, trace out the shape with your pencil, and then just use some Mod Podge to glue your paper onto your tree front. So you can even make them double-sided, like this one right here is double-sided. It's for a custom order. And you can do them single-sided, like these are just single-sided. So different options, and you can use different shapes. You could do just not even trees, you could come up with something else, like, you know, we did the pumpkin, you could do circles for ornaments. But just wanted to share this with you guys because, like I said, I was using my Cozy Lodge pattern for that, so thought I would kind of do double duty here, make some craft show inventory, and also make the project for my Crafty Christmas Collab. If you have any questions on any of this, let me know. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the idea. And don't forget to check out all of the YouTubers that are participating as well. All their links are in the description box below. There are also a bunch of participants on Instagram and Facebook. So if you go over there to one of those social media sites, you can search the hashtag. It's hashtag Crafty Christmas Collab 2019. And you can find all the participants on Instagram and Facebook with that same hashtag. And on Instagram, you can actually follow the hashtag. So then those project photos will kind of start showing up in your Instagram feed. You can also search on YouTube for that same hashtag as well to find the videos in case you've missed any. But thank you guys so much for your time today. I'm having so much fun with this collaboration, and I have loved seeing everybody's projects. There were some really great projects in week 1. I'm totally looking forward to seeing everybody's today for week 2. But thanks again for your time, and I hope you're having a crafty November.